Okay. When we talk about keys, we're talking about pre-snaps, and I'll get a little bit more detailed in that later, but you're looking at a lot of different things. Something I'm kind of progressing through with my first year guys as they come up and meet with me individually. We talk about obviously the alignment and assignment, but the other thing is the looking at and understanding formations, right? Understanding what teams like to do, understand personnel, and as they get into their own film study, their understanding and their football cues getting a little larger with that. For example, if we got a team that loves to run their zone scheme team, right? And a lot of times if they're not in pistol, understanding where back placement is, right? If I'm a defensive end and I have a back to my side, most likely I know I'm getting red. If it's a zone scheme team, especially to an open side with no tight end, okay, I can alert myself that, hey, I'm going to get a down block here. I got quarterback. And then once that ball's handed off, I can get down the line and make a play. I mean, comparable to a 3 technique, to the other side, I got back away from me. Most likely I'm going to get a reach block. So those guys understanding formationally what's happening, and so that it allows them to put themselves in position of success to make plays. The other thing is the blocking schemes and understanding at what position, what you're getting. I think that's vital. If right now I have a kid, Vic Little, is a kid outside of Burnt Hills, going into his 3rd year next year, where he's wants to understand and kind of simplify the game for himself to slow it down and understanding. And I think part of that is understanding blocking schemes. That's kind of that 2nd level, 3rd level of the progression in terms of the IQ part. Power, understanding as a nose, if I got a guard pulling away from me, I know it's probably power, counter, or some type of gap scheme where the ball is going opposite way. And so in understanding where I can use my hands, understanding where the ball is. As a 3 technique, if I'm getting a double team, that ball's coming right to me, right? And understanding I can strike, and what we call them strike, and get those guys on 2 levels to separate and then be able to shed and make a play. Base blocks as a 3 technique or a defensive end, I know that ball's hitting inside. So them understanding, hey, this is what I'm getting. I understand where the ball is. So it eliminates, I think, at least in my experience, the peeking of trying to find where the ball is, right? So now it's like, okay, I'm a nose or a 3 technique. I get that full block. I know I can just keep shoving that thing down, right? I don't need to peek and see where the ball is. I know where the ball's going, right? If I'm a defensive end, I get a down block. I know this is getting red. I can keep my eyes, and we talk about the triangle read with those guys is eyes inside, see if there's any pullers. In certain situations, mostly we're going to spill those pullers or anything coming at them. And in certain ways, we'll box things, and then getting our eyes back to the quarterback, but also staying attached to that tackle, stepping on that hill, keeping that inside foot, flat down, so that they're able to transition if that quarterback does keep the ball. So we talked about the pre-snap stuff. And I think that, again, it's valuable. This was valuable for me, as a player. The thing is, in the mindset and understanding the mindset of a student athlete is, when I first got to college, I thought, hey, I'm just going to continue to do what I did that got me here. And a lot of times with that was just the ball get snaps, I'm just ripping upfield. And so, playing teams like Shippensburg, who was a wing T team for a long time, and getting kicked out and this, and then I learned pretty quickly, all right, I need to become a better student of the game. And so this is vital for my guys to understand pre-snap, understanding, hey, if a guard is, looking at the split between guard and center, looking at the difference in terms of, hey, is he back? He may be pulling, right? And I was able to read a lot of that times of seeing that pull before it happened. And so I had some freedom to, work across the center's face and penetrate the A-gap. Or, if a tackle, all of a sudden he's really chest high, no hands on the ground, kind of a relaxed hand on the knee, eyes and where his eyes are, understanding that may be a passing situation. So those guys, again, it kind of goes back to understanding the formations, but to kind of break it down to just the line play of seeing the guys in front of you, reading your keys pre-snap and their hands in the dirt, if their hands up. And that's a lot of this is going to be film study or what they see during the week, right? As they progress through the game. And a lot of times, a lot of these guys come in and they're like, I don't know how to watch film. And it's like, so this is where I kind of a step one for them. It's like, this is what you're looking at. Pausing, slow-mo, and it's not just about watching the games through, but really seeing, okay, is there a consistency with a guy? And so the one thing that we do that we've kind of transitioned 2 years ago, where when we did scouting reports, we used to be the guys writing the breakdowns in terms of the write-ups of the players. We got to a point where like our guys wasn't watching film enough early during the week, so we made our position groups actually do the write-ups. So the D line will do the O line, linebackers, tight ends, and running backs, fullbacks, and the DBs will do the quarterbacks and receivers. So they're actually watching the positions that they should be king. And so they're starting to notice and pick up on these things, and they're working together and saying, hey, you know, the left tackle for Union, he's a big kid, but his footwork, he likes to shoot his hand on his first step. Or pre-snap, he's looking, you know, he's looking at the dirt or the turf if he's in a run situation. So these guys just understanding the nuances when it comes to pre-snap and how, again, can help them put themselves in successful situations.